was destroyed? How did you get away?
I don't know where to stop. You know I was assigned to General Tullius' escort. We were stopped in Helgen when we were attacked.
Jarl Balgruuf. He rules Whiterun Hold. A good man, perhaps a bit overcautious, but these are dangerous times. So far, he's managed to stay out of the war. I'm afraid it can't last, though. I don't think he likes either Ulfric or Elisif much. Who can blame him? But I've no doubt he'll prove loyal to the Empire in the end. He's no traitor. Of course, Skyrim has always been part of the Empire. That doesn't mean I support everything the Empire's been doing lately. But Nords have never been fair-weather friends. Ah, I forget you're new to Skyrim. Jarl Elisif, I should say. Although only because she was married to Jarl Torygg when he was murdered. Ulfric murdered Torygg, you know. Walked right into his palace in Solitude and killed him. Shouted him to death, if you believe the stories. That's what started this whole war. The Empire couldn't ignore that. Once the Jarls start killing each other, we're back to the bad old days. People are rightly stirred up about the damn Thalmor being allowed to roam around arresting people, just for worshipping Talos. But was it worth tearing Skyrim apart and maybe destroying the Empire? No. Ulfric will have a lot to answer for in the end. Nords have always supported the Empire, and the Empire has always been good for Skyrim. It's from that treaty that ended the Great War, remember? When the Emperor was forced by the Thalmor to outlaw Talos worship. We didn't pay much attention to it when I was a boy. Everyone still had their little shrine to Talos. But then, Ulfric and his Sons of Skyrim started agitating about it. And sure enough, the Emperor had to crack down. Dragging people off in the middle of the night. One of the main causes of this war, if you ask me. Cross the river and then head north. You'll see it just past the falls. When you get to Whiterun, just keep going up. When you get to the top of the hill, you're at Dragon's Reach, the Jarl's Palace. When your friend told me, I didn't believe it first either.
Mara's mercy. A dragon? In Helgen? Why, it could be here at any moment.
I'm sure Riverwood will be all right, dear, when the Jarl learns what's happened.
Much more to tell. This dragon flew over and just wrecked the whole place. Mass confusion. I don't know if anyone else got out alive. I doubt I'd made it out myself if not for my friend here. I need to get back to Solitude and let them know what's happened. I thought you could help us out. Food, supplies, a place to stay.
Of course. Any friend of Hadvar's is a friend of mine. I'm glad to help however I can. May the gods watch over your battles, friend. Like I said, I'm glad to help in any way I can. Help yourself to whatever you need. Within reason.
Did you really...
All right, then.
What did it look like? Did it have big teeth?
It's nice to be back in a friendly spot, huh?
Don't mind
Listen,
me, though.
I'm going to lay up
You
here
make
for a while.
yourselves at home.
You can make your own way to Solitude from here. I'd recommend heading to Whiterun, just down the road from here. From there you can take a carriage to Solitude. Of course. I know today wasn't the best introduction to the Legion, but I hope you'll give us another chance. The Legion could really use someone like you, especially now. And if the rebels have themselves a dragon, General Tullius is the only one who can stop them. Damn Stormcloak rebels. Can't wait to kill another of Ulfric's boys. Well, you didn't know? That was Ulfric Stormcloak and his top lieutenants. Right, the leader of the Stormcloaks. They claim to be fighting for Skyrim's freedom, but the war is really all about Ulfric wanting to be High King of Skyrim. You haven't heard of the Civil War in Skyrim? I guess down in Cyrodiil, people have other things to worry about. It's pretty simple. Ulfric founded the Stormcloaks years ago, as a sort of private army to advance his ambitions. He's always used the ban on the worship of Talos to stir people up against the Empire. He never succeeded in getting much support, so a few months ago he murdered the High King. That got the Empire's attention. A masterstroke by General Tullius. He's only been in charge here for a few months, but he's turned things around for the Empire. We've been trying to catch Ulfric since the war started, but he always seemed to slip through our fingers, like he knew we were coming. This time, the General turned the tables on him. Ulfric rode right into our ambush with only a few bodyguards. He surrendered pretty meekly too. So much for his death or glory reputation. I thought we were taking Ulfric back to Cyrodiil, but I guess the General changed his mind. You know the rest. So did I. If the damn Stormcloak somehow found one, or woke it up, the war might be about to take an ugly turn. Hard to believe it was just a coincidence, that the first dragon anyone's seen for centuries attacks just as Ulfric was about to be executed. Be careful on the way to Solitude. Damn Stormcloaks could be anywhere.
Feindal thinks he can woo Camilla Valerius away from me. She's already mine, I keep telling him.
Nobody believes me, but did you hear? The Riverwood trader was robbed. Poor Lucan must be torn to pieces over it. By sure, what do you want? That's close enough.
You look like a traveler. Someone that has seen faraway places and heard new stories. You should come hear me play at the Sleeping Giant Inn. For a small sum, you can even pick the song. Camilla Valerius knows I'm the best man in Riverwood. That elf is kidding himself if he thinks she would choose him over me. I've seen him sneaking over to the Riverwood trader to speak with her when I'm not around. He's wasting his time. Right then. Well, hey, that's not something you see every day. Faendal thinks he can woo Camilla Valerius away from me. She's all... Be mine, I keep telling him.
Halt. City's closed with the dragons about. Official business only. Riverwood's in danger too. You better go on in. You'll find the Jarl in Dragon's Reach, at the top of the hill.
Wait, I know you. Dragon.
We'll pay whatever it takes, but we must have more swords for the Imperial soldiers.
Grey Mane or Battleborn? Got stones in your ears? I asked what side you're on. Grey Mane or Battleborn? New in town, huh? Whiterun's got two clans, both old and both respected. Difference is, the Grey Manes turned their backs on the Empire, and we Battleborn stayed loyal. So I'll ask again, Grey Mane or Battleborn?
A few seconds for my supper is all I ask.
Then you're either a Stormcloak sympathizer or a fool. Either way, you're no friend of mine. Long live the Empire. I should bash your face in after all you've done.
Sometimes I miss the soldier's life, but when I hold my daughter in my arms... My Sapphire doesn't like that I've been spending so much time looking for my father's old sword. He fed his entire family with the gold he made using that weapon. I'm not about to let it gather dust in some thief's trophy room. I tracked it to a group of bandits nearby, but I'm no fool. I'd need the Whiterun guards or maybe hire the companions to get it. I don't know why I'm saying this, but if you find it out in your travels, I'd be grateful to you. I can teach you a few things. If you find that sword, please bring it to me.
Wait, I know you.
dragons I can handle. But this talk of dragons, world gone mad, I say. God might get nervous. A man approaches with his weapon drawn.
What would you have me do then? Nothing?
My
What's
lord,
the meaning of
please.
this interruption?
This is no time
Jarl
for rash
Balgruuf is
action.
not receiving
I just
visitors.
think we need more information before we act. I just...
Who's this then?
Well, that explains why the guards let you in. Come on then. The Jarl will want to speak to you personally.
So, you were at Helgen. You saw this dragon with your own eyes? By Ysmir, Irileth was right. What do you say now, Proventus? Shall we continue to trust in the strength of our walls against the dragon?
My lord, we should send troops to Riverwood at once. It's in the most immediate danger. If that dragon is lurking in the mountains...
That is a provocation. He'll assume we're preparing to join Ulfric's side and attack him. We should not...
Enough! I'll not stand idly by while the dragon burns my hold and slaughters my people. Irileth, send a detachment to Riverwood at once.
Yes, my Jarl.
If you'll excuse me, I'll return to my duties.
That would be best. Well done. You sought me out on your own initiative. You've done Whiterun a service, and I won't forget it. Here, take this as a small token of my esteem. Someone of your particular talents, perhaps. Come, let's go find Farengar, my court wizard. He's been looking into a matter related to these dragons and rumors of dragons. I'll introduce you to Farengar. Farengar is probably puttering around in his lab, day and night. I'm not sure he ever sleeps. Farengar, I think I've found someone who can help. Go ahead and fill him in with all the details.
So the Jarl thinks you can be of use to me. Oh yes, he must be referring to my research into the dragons. Yes, I could use someone to fetch something for me. Well, when I say fetch, I really mean delve into a dangerous ruin in search of an ancient stone tablet that may or may not actually be there. Ah, no mere brute mercenary, but a thinker. Perhaps even a scholar? You see, When the stories of dragons began to circulate, many dismissed them as mere fantasies, rumors, impossibilities. One sure mark of a fool is to dismiss anything that falls outside his experience as being impossible. But I began to search for information about dragons. Where had they gone all those years ago? And where were they coming from? I learned of a certain stone tablet said to be housed in Bleak Falls Barrow. A dragon stone, said to contain a map of dragon burial sites. Go to Bleak Falls Barrow, find this tablet, no doubt interred in the main chamber, and bring it to me. Simplicity itself. An old tomb, built by the ancient Nords, perhaps dating back to the Dragon War itself. Ah, maybe you just want to know how to get there. It's near Riverwood, a miserable little village a few miles south of here. I'm sure some of the locals can point you in the right direction once you get there. Well, must preserve some professional secrets, mustn't we? I have my sources. Reliable sources. Ah, student of the craft. You'll need to start by learning an enchantment. Take an enchanted weapon or piece of armor, then use the arcane enchanter to learn its secrets. The item is destroyed in the process, so be wary. Once you know an enchantment, you'll need a filled soul gem and something to enchant. You'll use the arcane enchanter for that too. Of course, I have everything you need for sale if you have the coin. I'm not surprised you've never heard of it. Even I used to think it was just a myth. But not anymore. The Dragon War was a real event, although only the barest glimmer of the actual events has come down to us. Far back in the Mythic era, the dragons were worshipped as gods in Skyrim. Many of the monumental ruins that still dot the landscape were in fact built as temples to the dragons. The details are lost, but at some point, the Nords rebelled. After a long and terrible war, the Nords overthrew their dragon overlords. Oh no, many were killed, of course, but many survived into historical times. Why, this very palace was built by one of Balgruf's ancestors to hold a captive dragon. Hence its name, Dragon's Reach. Take a look. Spells and incantations for those with the talent to guess them. So, you wish to master the arcane arts?
Oh no.
Take a look. So, you wish to master the arcane arts? Off to Bleak Falls Barrow with you.
Jarl is not a patient to fight this dragon.
Neither am I, come to think of it.
We need it quickly, before it's too late.
Of course, Jarl Balgroof. You seem to have found me enabled. Oh, I thought you were already on your way to Bleak Falls Barrow. Sadly, no. My work affords me few opportunities for such an adventure. Perhaps some hero will bring one to Dragon's Reach, like old Olaf one I once did. What a fascinating conversation that would be. I'm sure he will prove most useful.
Succeed at this, and you'll be rewarded. Whiterun will be in your debt.
The Jarl is, as you can imagine. The Jarl has put out a bounty on some bandits. Here, take a look at this decree for details. Well, there are 3 of them, arranged in 3 tiers, as you may have noticed. The Plains District is so named because it's the closest of the 3 to the plains that surround the city. The inn and marketplace are found there. Most of the city's residents live in the Wind District, which is the middle of the 3. Dragon's Reach occupies the highest, which we call the Cloud District. From here, the Jarl can see all that goes on within his city.
I'm so angry I can hardly stand it. Father? Promised me a new dress days ago. Now where is it?
It takes a while to make a dress, Daddy.
Wait. I know you. Wait. I know you. There's no mistake. You're a wanted man, and it's time to pay for your crimes. Nah. Well, your bounty is low. Alright, get out of my sight. But you're known to me now, scum. Remember that. I'd be a lot warmer.
It's a shame, isn't it? This is the Gildergreen. It was planted as a seedling in the early years of Whiterun. Disciples of Kynareth could sense something holy in it, and traveled far to hear the winds of the goddess in its branches. They built the temple. Of course, not as many pilgrims these days. A big dead tree isn't very inspiring if you're coming to worship the divine of wind and rains. Kynareth gives life, and we need a living tree to be her symbol. Grace of Kynareth be with you. It's a shame, isn't it?